In this video, I want to talk about why I think we're likely to see Black Ops 3 Zombies maps return as remakes in Black Ops 7 in the form of a kind of spiritual Zombies Chronicles 2. Now, firstly, it's clear that talk of Zombies Chronicles 2 over time went from rumors suggesting that it could readily drop at any moment to thinking that it's never going to happen because of the fact that Activision now makes far more money from microtransactions than they ever did with traditional DLC. Now, whilst that is the case, it's still yet to be truly established whether or not a Chronicles 2 was in development for Black Ops 4 or Cold War, like was suggested with several leaks. But from what we have seen in the past, like with the recent unearthing of a Chronicles-like DLC development build for Black Ops 2 which never came to fruition, it's fair to assume at the very least that some kind of work would have started at Treyarch on a sequel to this iconic DLC. Maybe it was scrapped, or maybe it's being repurposed for Black Ops 7. Now, to reiterate, I know that the revenue from this franchise is now mostly from cosmetics and microtransactions, and so I know they wouldn't drop this as a traditional paid DLC outside of the live service offering. It's simply too much work for too little of a financial gain in the eyes of Activision when put on top of the consistent updates Black Ops 7 will demand with all new content. But what wouldn't surprise me is if we mostly see remakes of old maps within the live service support of Zombies for Black Ops 7. I mean, from the small teaser we got before the COD Next event, we saw that we're very likely seeing a reimagination of Transit and Mob of the Dead. And from Treyarch's long history of switching between dropping all new maps and just remaking old ones, combined with the fact that this game comes just 1 year after Black Ops 6, it wouldn't surprise me if the maps we see drop from each season is some form of remake in an attempt to shave off some development time. It just simply makes sense in my head. Of course, if I'm right, that comes with the same problem COD Zombies has faced for years, wherein half of the fan base is left unsatisfied, mainly because half of the fan base want old content to return and half want all new experiences. And so you can naturally kind of see the problem of having a live service containing solely remakes for the entirety of the game. But putting that debate to one side, let's actually talk about how this live service kind of spiritual Zombies Chronicles 2 could shape up and why I think Activision plans to have Black Ops 3 maps remade for it. First off, we know about Transit and Mob of the Dead, classics from Black Ops 2. Now, I believe the reason we're seeing Transit is because, of course, we're yet to see that map remastered officially since its launch. And Treyarch have openly commented in the past about how plans for that map originally were far more ambitious than the consoles of that generation were capable of supporting. And so seeing a fully realized Transit is a no-brainer. As for Mob of the Dead, it could be pinned to community dissatisfaction with Blood of the Dead in Black Ops 4. Plagued with a bunch of bugs at launch, it didn't have the Golden Gate Bridge, and a lot of the core functionality and gameplay mechanics were changed in a way that many people didn't like. But what's more important here is the potential for Black Ops 3 maps to return. But why? Why would they bother doing this? Well, firstly, like I mentioned before, Treyarch have been forced to shave development time here. Black Ops 6 dropped less than a year ago, and so Black Ops 7 must have been in simultaneous development. Now, if Black Ops 6 got all new Zombies maps, it makes sense given the time frame that Black Ops 7 gets remakes. That's not to say that remakes take no time, but naturally when you're remaking maps instead of creating all new ones, it saves a lot of time in the way of layout planning, drafting ideas, sound design, and a lot more, because a lot of that content can be reused from the original. Secondly, Black Ops 3 maps are now far older than we realize. This year, Shadows of Evil turns 10 years old. And that's truly crazy to think about. That means during the seasonal updates for Black Ops 7, it'll be the 10-year anniversary of the Black Ops 3 DLC maps. And a 10-year anniversary feels like a great time for a remake, especially when you consider that back when the original Zombies Chronicles released in 2017, Nocturne on Toten was only 9 years old. That's right, that means the distance between the original World at War Nocturne on Toten and the release of Zombies Chronicles is now less time than the distance between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 7. Now, I'm sorry to have dropped that on you, but you see my point, right? Shadows of Evil is turning 10 this year. The Black Ops 3 DLC maps are also turning 10 during 2026. Meanwhile, when the original Zombies Chronicles dropped, the oldest of the maps featured was Nukt at 9 years old, and the more recent was Origins, which was only 3 years old when it got its remaster. By contrast, all of the Black Ops 3 maps are turning 10. On top of all of this, Black Ops 3 is solidified as the most highly regarded entry in the entire history of COD Zombies. It's been a fan favorite for many many years, and so it makes sense for Activision to really cash in on that by trying to appeal to the fan base who are either looking for the door or are already out of it. I mean, Treyarch and Activision have already shown their hand here, and not long ago with the Zombies reveal for Black Ops 6, where they placed the books that reference taking notes from the past next to a manual of Black Ops 3. I mean, it was a clear suggestion that they're trying to appeal more to the Black Ops 3 fanbase. And I'm sure Activision has been putting a lot of pressure on Treyarch to try and recapture that audience that drove BO3 Zombies into a new scope of popularity. And so it really all ties together. I mean, it's no secret that the past 5 years of Zombies has lost a lot of the original audience who were enjoying Black Ops 3, and so Activision needs to take action to win them back. Not to mention, remaking 10-year-old Black Ops 3 maps could actually translate to new experiences anyway to the new wave fanbase of COD Zombies who might not have been around back when Black Ops 3 was originally released. And I mean, it's also just a case of comparison. Looking at maps from Black Ops 2, for example, that haven't been officially remastered, we come to maps like Die Rise and Buried, which, whilst they are loved by some, initially came with hate and are ultimately not as loved as maps like Shadows and Der Eisendrache. I mean, the original Zombies Chronicles was unbelievably successful and was actually one of the highest selling DLC packs of any game, period, as in of all time. Like, it did incredibly well and far better than Activision would have imagined. And Activision love money more than anything else, so to simply not revisit the concept of a Chronicles-like DLC season is insanity. But to do so, they'll need a set of maps that are on par with the incredible set of maps that came with the original. This, in my opinion, makes Black Ops 3 maps the natural go-to choice. Black Ops 3 maps are timeless and have aged tremendously well. There's a nice blend of straight-to-the-point survival elements and complex setups and quests. And the layouts and visual designs are all distinct, unique, vast, and easy to immerse in. They feature incredible Easter egg quests as well and are packed full of content even by today's standards. And to finally drive my point home, by remaking Black Ops 3 maps within the map drops for Black Ops 7, Activision will finally try to reclaim the audience that has been stolen by the past. Activision knows that a lot of the fans of the older games still play them, and they refuse to move on to what they're offering with recent Call of Duty games. In their eyes, Black Ops 3 is robbing newer titles of sales and active player statistics because a significant percentage of the Zombies community decided to stay where they are and never move on. Active player counts are incredibly important to Activision, and perhaps by remaking Black Ops 3 Zombies maps in Black Ops 7, it's an attempt to show the age of the original versions by making something that's significantly superior visually to force that audience to finally jump ship onto a newer title. Now, naturally, that won't quite work for everybody because, of course, custom zombies played another major role in keeping at least the PC fanbase of COD Zombies firmly on Black Ops 3, and so simply reintroducing the official maps might not quite be enough for those people. But let's face it, the chances of custom zombies returning in a future title is getting slimmer with every passing year, which sucks, but it is what it is. In fact, I did make a video predicting what the future of customs would look like if Treyarch were to reintroduce it to the franchise, so it would be cool if that happens, but overall, I think for the foreseeable future, custom content will remain solely on older titles. But anyway, seeing fan favorites like Shadows of Evil, Der Eisendrache, Zetsubo no Shima, and Gorod Krovia's remakes in the seasonal drops for Black Ops 7 might disappoint people looking for all new content. But following Black Ops 6, taking everything into consideration and from what we've seen so far, to me, it just makes sense. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious on how that would all shape up. My only fear, of course, is if Black Ops 7 follows through with Black Ops 6's mechanics without a classic mode being an option, because of course that could potentially tarnish what made these old maps so special, and we could find ourselves in another Blood of the Dead or Tag der Toten kind of situation, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But I mean, the solution is to introduce a classic mode, and it still boggles the mind that they haven't done this yet, and I've made countless videos about why they should, and I'll link one of those on the top of the screen now. But let me know down below what you guys think of all of this. Do you think I've completely lost my mind, or do you think that I'm right on the money? But more importantly, are you excited by the idea of this, or do you absolutely dread it? Either way, I do hope you enjoyed this video, lads, ladies, and gentlemen. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.